why have you appeared at my door? Wait, I know the answer.
You always do.
You want to put my spies to work.
Then join me.
I would highly recommend playing through Assassin's Creed 2 first, as the story continues right after the game. The story of Assassin's Creed is a little too complicated to explain, but in general there are things called the Pieces of Eden, a form of ancient technology with the power to somewhat take over the world. Desmond in modern day, aka Nolan North, has to relive his ancestor Ezio's past through the machine called an animagus. There are both corrupt Templars in each world, modern and past Italy. It's your job as both Ezio and occasionally Desmond to deal with the Borgia.
You!
Looking for this.
Attend now, assassino! My sword will take your life.
Ezio's character has changed a lot since AC2. He's no longer an amateur assassin, but the leader of his Brotherhood. But with this I think he loses a little too much character, and becomes more like Altair. The story is just great in the game. The set pieces and voice acting are very well done.
It just felt natural. We can get in through here.
Good job.
Well, we'll just wait up here then, shall we? Yeah, all alone, with massive targets painted on our backs.
But like I always said, why bother having Desmond in the game? I'm not interested in present day if I'm not a badass assassin like Ezio Auditore da Firenze. The main objective to the game is to get closer to the Templar Cesare and eliminate him with a bunch of his followers. The story to Assassin's Creed has always been very unique. It questions religion and people's beliefs. It tells you that faith can be dangerous, and that the guilty will only see themselves good.
Cesare! The walls surround you! There is nowhere to run!
Come then, Ezio!
So in total, it's a very clever game. I wouldn't say the story is as strong as AC2, but the game is just as cool as ever and just feels so badass to play. So this would be the most important section in a game like this. The free running to Assassin's Creed has always been second to none. There's not a game like it. Every ledge, every window, every indent is taken into account when you're trying to scale a building and assassinate your target. It feels very easy to use and just creates a lot of fun. The game is very creative. There is no set way in which you have to kill your target. You decide on how you want to go about the objective.
Volpe! My son Claudio has been injured! They are going to shoot him.
I will kill these. Go! Get the others!
The combat this time around seems a lot more fluid and aggressive. No longer are we waiting around for an enemy to attack and then counter him. It's very fast and just feels very glorious. We have new weapons such as the crossbow that work really well in taking care of tricky guards. There is only one more Leonardo device which lets you shoot poison at an enemy, but despite that the game gives your assassin plenty of arsenal to choose from. And along with that, after once again a fairly slow start to the game, you can call upon Ezio's Brotherhood to jump in and assassinate your target. You can also send your assassins across Europe to bring back XP and certain items, and so with that you can level up each one of your personal assassins so they can better aid you in a fight. Although I did feel Brotherhood is a little too easy regarding the combat, and especially with the many health potions you can buy or loot, it just seems as if you're invincible in a fight. There are also special missions, such as when you get to use artillery to take care of the enemy fleet of ships, and generally they're quite fun to complete. Now there are comments about the place saying that Brotherhood is just a recycled version of Assassin's Creed 2, and mostly I have to agree on this. But is that a bad thing? Assassin's Creed 2 was right next to Uncharted 2 for me last year. But once again I'll say this game is too easy. As you progress through the game you'll feel like a god, who can call in his minions when he simply can't be bothered to dispatch of a few guards. Assassin's Creed 1 made you plan that much more. Guards were tougher and you felt more like an assassin. Altair actually looked normal blending in amongst the crowd. Ezio, however, looks like some kind of Italian Batman, some kind of totally flamboyant Lord of Dance. But yeah, all in all it's a great unique game with some improvements and add-ons such as the new online. What's quite impressive is not just the graphics and design, but the sheer size of the game. The game is a true sandbox with countless number of buildings and landmarks. Ubisoft have created a Rome which not only looks good, but also feels pretty accurate for the time. One of the most famous landmarks you'll get to see in the game is the Colosseum, which even back then was a little destroyed. You see, Rome isn't what it used to be. I wouldn't say it's decrepit, but hell, could you imagine if the game put you in the time of the Roman Empire? Julius Caesar was assassinated. Wouldn't it be beyond cool if the game just ignored some historical details and just left Desmond and his angle out of this? But moving on. The game's graphical power is one of the most powerful engines I've seen in a sandbox game. There are loading screens, but they're not that long, and on the PS3 I saw absolutely no screen tearing, slowdowns or any imperfections. You know, the animations are among the best in video games. Creed is one of the coolest feeling games in history. The executions just feel brutal and just makes you feel good. However, sometimes the animations don't show. For example, an axe slicing through someone's head. What I mean is, it can sometimes look a little unrealistic, and an axe will just ignore the outer character model. But all in all, not that different to Assassin's Creed 2. The graphics are very well done for a sandbox, and the design is a brilliant Rome. Although I would have liked a little more cities like Venice and Florence. The many ways to kill a target or slice down enemies is what makes this game, along with the free running. It's fast paced and the missions are always entertaining. I can't say I ever felt bored doing this game. Exclusively on the PS3 you may play the Copernicus side missions, situated in Florence, along with the main side missions that the game gives you. Now the online is another thing you should consider if you're on the fence about this one. There is a level system in which you can unlock new perks and new abilities, such as the smoke bomb. There's various little tools you can use to aid your game. You get a target to assassinate. You gain extra points for not being detected. But whilst that's happening, you've got to watch your back when up to 4 pursuers may be hiding in the hay, hanging from rooftops or blending in the crowds. So in this game you have to use your brain as to determine which of the NPCs may be your target. And I think the online's great because it's unique. It brings a change to your shooters or whatever you may play. So, this game has netted me around 20 hours including the few online. Do I think it's a buy or rent? That's a hard one. If you can blast through the game I would say rent. It's a one-off game you may only play once. But this has been Jazz for Jazz Reviews. Thanks for watching and send us a comment. Until next time.